This is Bear With Us Podcast.
Can we add girl? I mean, we aren't all manly like you.
Okay. How's this? This is Bear With Us, girl.
No. More like girl. Like a glitter bear.
This is Bear With Us, girl.
Perfect. This is Bear With Us, girl, where we stir the honey pot with hot topics, body issues, the adult industry.
Fashion, news, pop culture, pup culture, and more.
From the bear perspective.
For and by the community.
I can barely stand it. Get it?
You're unbearable.
Every single episode we have ever done, he just looks at my reaction for that opening. I regret that opening so much.
Oh my God, it's a good joke. Cake Moss is like, I'm the queen of comedy. That sucks.
I already told him like last episode. I'm like, no, we're redoing that one. I can't bear to see your response.
No, we've had the new one's gonna be like, spill some honey, or what?
No, you came up with the last one. It was something about like, spill the tea, honey. We're the best bears in town, bitch, or something.
No, mine was funny. I don't know what that was. Anyway, today we're talking about cannabis and drag. Teddy Bear, how much, do you smoke pot? Do you vape? Do you...
No. So
Have you ever?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not one of those who's like, what is this marijuana? I am a person that I am such a lightweight that it's honestly not enjoyable for me. Like, so for example, like I have edibles for when I have like insomnia, but I have edibles that are 5 milligrams that I cut up into 4 pieces, and I can barely take that quarter piece of a 5 milligram.
Now, what is the edible of choice? Is it like a brownie or a cookie or a Cheeto?
No, they're just like, I'm not taking it for the food, because if I take it for the food, then I would get messed up.
Oh, who are you talking to? I was like...
I'm just taking it to like do like its purpose. But like I am one of those people that if I just take a little bit too much, I am on the moon and I don't know how to get back. And it's just, I don't like being out of control. I like a person, like for me, I like to always be in control. And so the idea of just completely letting go, that's not fun for me.
That's interesting. Well, because I have seen you, like, you've had a tequila or something, but you don't, not like me, where you just, like, you don't stop. You're just like, I've had my 2, and now that's fine.
Well, I mean, it's also okay to be like that.
What? You're looking at Mr. Non-Moderation. But we're going to talk about, like, how to start edibles or whatever if you don't have any experience, because every experience I've had with pot in any form has been so awful. One was almost to the hospital. So we'll talk about that. Today's show is brought to you by Cybersocket.com, the ultimate resource for gay erotica. Visit us for all things where pop culture meets porn at Cybersocket.com.
Oh my God, I'm joking. Sorry.
Oh God.
I'm here.
Have some marijuana.
Right. That will solve the problem.
Yes.
And also shout out to our sponsor, Bear World Magazine.
Right.
Bear World Magazine is the only lifestyle magazine celebrating the global bear community in all its glorious, diverse beauty. Head over to bearworldmag.com to check out the great berry content packed of berry news, interview, and gossip.
Right. Speaking of gossip, Queen of WeHo, Queen of Cannabis is here. Cake Moss, for over a decade, she's been serving it up as one of the premier drag entertainers in Southern California. Not only is she a mainstay in West Hollywood, but she's also traveled the world, slaying stages and collecting phone numbers. The boys and some of the girls love her. She did the VMAs with Miley Cyrus, by the way. She continues her philanthropic and volunteer work throughout LA and makes it her mission to incorporate an inclusive blend of artists in all of her music projects. Have you downloaded Shade or Thoughtcock yet? You can see her leading the show every Saturday at Mickey's WeHo with a rotating cast of performers from across the drag spectrum. Perfect remedy for the Friday hangover. Why stop? She also hosts Cake Cannabis Corner on Outlet.tv, covering all things cannabis, and she writes the sassy drag race recaps, unfiltered, by the way, on Cybersocket.com. Please welcome Cake Moss.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Also microdosing to be your best friend. I didn't realize they did that much shit, girl.
I was like, that is a long introduction.
Yeah, he was like, and I was like, do I?
And her LinkedIn profile can be found.
But I was like, wow, girl, I need one of them little dot tappers.
No, but you're busy all the time. Every time I'm following you on social media or see you out and about, you're doing a show, you're getting ready for this.
Yeah.
You know, you're really owning it.
I like to stay busy. I like to stay in drag, and I like to stay busy.
Are you ever tired?
I'm constantly exhausted.
Okay.
No one ever told me that when I started doing drag, you were just going to be exhausted all the time. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, didn't you, everybody always thinks, oh, drag is just putting on lipstick and holding like tequila. Now, mind you, that's a lot of it.
It is a lot of it.
But doing that 7 nights a week is exhausting.
It's bad for your skin.
Well, not mine. I have one.
Flawless.
I have wonderful skin. But yes, it's a lot. There's a lot of tequila and a lot of lipstick, but there's so much. Drag is just so much more than that. It's a lot all wrapped into one. You have to act, you have to dance, you have to sing, you have to always be on, you have to look good because everyone's always coming for you, or they're like, are you a drag queen or what are you? Or are you...
Oh, they start. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people start getting very that, but it's a lot more than like just lipstick and tequila. But again, that is a lot of it.
At what point did you notice that like it was no longer a hobby and you were like, oh shit, this is now my job, and then oh shit, this is now my career?
Low key, like right out the gate.
Really?
Like kind of right out the gate, I was like, you know what? This is amazing, because I was always trying to like get acting gigs and like dancing gigs and do all this different stuff, but they'd always be like, oh, you're too feminine, or oh, you're too short, or oh, you're a little too thick. Like, you have to be like, you're like little skinny, like muscular build, or you have to be like this, or you have to be like that. And so no one would like book me for the stuff that I wanted to do. And one day I was like, what is that movie where he like does drag and goes back to an audition? I can't remember the name of the movie.
Mrs. Doubtfire?
No.
No, but
Tootsie.
it's kind of very lat. It's
Tootsie with Dustin Hoffman.
Yes.
Where
Tootsie.
he
Very
goes in drag
Tootsie.
to get the audition. He actually gets
and then
the
he
role.
gets the role.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen it.
It was very that, and I was like, I got in drag for the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is everything. And then I started doing gig after gig after gig, and then like the first thing I did was a competition at 340, and then I won that night. And then the very next Thursday, you get to perform at Tiger Heat. That's like a part of the prize package. And the rest was history, honestly.
What year were you performing in Tiger Heat?
Girl, we don't talk about our age.
No, this is not.
She was the first 5-year-old to be at Tiger Heat.
I want to know if this is like from the good heydays of when like Tiger Heat was like okay.
Yes, it was when Tiger Heat was still cute, when Ingenue still hosted on the stage.
So this is back when we had like Lady Gaga perform before she was Lady Gaga, like those kind of days.
Yes, very like I think actually I performed. It was like I think a year after Lady Gaga had performed at Tiger Heat, and then she went and did like all that crazy stuff. I literally impersonated her for the first like year and a half of my career. I was a Lady Gaga impersonator.
I can see that.
Oh, totally.
And people were like, what? Because at first people were just like, oh my God, you look like Lady Gaga. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, you know what, bitch? I do look like Lady Gaga. And I wasn't even trying half the time. I was like, I just got ready. And they were just like, well, you look like her. So I started impersonating her, and it turned into something else. And then...
Do you still do Lady Gaga impersonation? Or like in your look sometimes?
I sometimes give a look, yeah. I haven't done any... She hasn't really released anything in a long time. And then when she did release something, it was over the pandemic. So I did... she did a duet album with Tony Bennett. So I did duets with myself.
Oh, I love that.
I love that.
And it was really... It was fun, because, like, you're looking at the camera, but, like, you have to look... this way, but you're actually looking this way, and then like vice versa. Like I'm talking to myself, but if I look that way, and then it's like
that's like the ultimate narcissist, by the way. It's like, fuck it, nobody can sing like I can. I'm going to do a duet with myself.
I'm sorry, but
the world had ended, and we couldn't be around each other. So I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired of performing in front of my phone and my ring light and my Beyonce fan, like screaming at myself, like, good job, girl, you did that.
It's funny because you talked about, singing, acting, being able to, MC and all that. It's like, remember that's when the queens on Drag Race used to have to be able to do that?
To be able to do everything?
To be able to sing, dance, act, be able to command a crowd.
I mean, I also think...
Season 6?
I think that's all... But also, I think that's asking a lot, in all fairness. Like,
that's what a drag queen does.
I don't need my drag queen to be, like... the next president of the United States. They don't need to do everything.
No, it's not. We don't use all those things at once, but it's like you're not just like a teddy bear, like, and she's not just a hostess. Like, you guys are.
You're right.
So many things, but it's like when you are a drag queen, like, you have to be a host. You have to know how to sew. You have to, depending on your brand, like, be a dancer. Like, you have to know how to like do all this crazy stuff. It's like you don't necessarily have to use.
How do people not know how to sew? By the way, like I understand not knowing how to do like complicated garments, but if you can't sew spandex to sew spandex,
Teddy,
and with a serger,
I can sew stuff together with my hands, but I have a very heavy foot and a very heavy hand. It's why
I have a club foot,
baby. I can't style wigs for shit, and I can't I can't like sew. I can hand sew stuff. Like I've hand sewn a garment. Like it took me a few days, but I try with the sewing machine, and every time I put my foot down, it's like, brrr, and the needles break. I'm just like, I don't know.
Honey, you gotta ease the tension.
know.
Lube
Some people
it
just
up
can't do
and
it.
just then you can go.
Teddy, I took theater classes all during college, and one of them was like, you have to work in the costume department. You have to take one semester of no matter what they taught me, no matter what, just can't do it. Just
It's not
can't
hard.
do it.
But some of my
But
friends
a performer needs to know how to do
A lot of my
that.
friends are blessed with the gift of sewing, and I have the gift of money. So I'm just like, bitch,
then you can support
got
them.
these hands, and I got this check. So
And I got these hands.
right, like make this garment for me.
But also, it's really gotten to the point like some of the big queens from Drag Race walk in with a stylist who did a $10,000 outfit that they had nothing to do with, but they show up on the runway and then they win. It's like, that's not fair.
But what I will say, this back to kind of what you just said, the drag industry has done a great service to people that have been aspiring fashion designers. Because for a lot of them, to be honest, like they would go to college, become designers, and then never get work because there really isn't actually much work. But in the drag world, they're the ones that will pay you for those
stuff
costumes
every day. Like doing drag is so expensive, and I just don't think people understand how expensive it really is. Like just with what I'm wearing right now, like I'll include my makeup, my shoes, and like I try to like really bargain shop for stuff, but like there's some things you can't get around, like certain types of makeup, like stuff like that, like you can't get around. But like right now, I'm at least wearing like $800.
Oh, easy.
And
Damn,
it's
yeah.
and that's just to come do an interview. Now imagine you're going to do a brunch and you have 3 numbers.
Yeah.
You're hosting, so you have to change between all the numbers. You have a curtain call. That's 4 costumes. That's 4 wigs. That's all the jewelry that comes with it.
And you can't repeat looks time after time.
Yeah, that's the
true.
other thing. People are like, "Oh, you're wearing that again?" It's like, yeah, bitch.
I wore it
It
5
costs
years
a lot.
ago.
Do you want to buy me a costume? Literally, my closet is starting to like she's starting to come in on herself, and I've been using like Gorilla Glue and like nails and shit, and like nailing stuff to the wall. And I have wig. Like my room is lined with wig heads, and it is like my boy closet is like this thing.
Well, I always wonder like what drag queens' actual homes are like. Because I'm like, at a certain point, your drag just starts eating and taking over your home.
Yeah.
That you literally
Shoes in the refrigerator,
Yeah.
shoes in the oven, like
Wigs in the
room.
refrigerator.
Yeah.
have you done that? Put wigs in the refrigerator?
Not on purpose.
Not on
How do you-
purpose.
How do you
She was high.
That's all, I was like, are we getting to the topic of the episode? I'm like, were you stoned?
Is this my closet?
Yeah, I was like, here, I'm gonna grab this sandwich and I'm gonna replace it with the wig. So no
And she
one
should have put the
notices
sandwich
this.
on her head.
That's
at
very
brunch.
that's very like Indiana Jones. You're like trying
Yes.
to
No, exactly.
so it doesn't go off.
And
Yeah,
replace it with the thing so no one knows the sandwich left. Because my roommate's gonna be like, "Where the fuck is my sandwich,
perfect
girl?"
crime.
No, okay, so let's talk about like dating a drag queen, because I've always wanted to know that. It's like you bring a boy home and there's like no room to breathe because there's wigs and dresses, or if you live with somebody, it's like here's your closet space, but there's always going to be a mess because there's always drag stuff going on.
Dating a drag queen is, I mean, probably the best thing you'll ever do. But
That's the first person that I've ever said
yeah,
that.
I was like, are you just tooting your own horn?
Yeah.
I mean, toot. But a lot of us, honestly, most drag queens are verse. We have steady jobs.
Do you know this
That's true.
firsthand?
Yes.
Mayhem Miller will never be the same.
We have steady work. Where, I mean, it depends. Honestly, when it comes to like drag and dating, it's always been difficult for me to date people, especially here in LA, because LA is very like, oh, you do drag, or oh, you're feminine, or
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
What's the best city though where like you get the opposite response? Where they're
Baltimore.
like, okay, where they're like,
Baltimore.
oh, you do drag. I love that. Let's go on a date.
Yeah, Baltimore loves drag queens and thick boys, so I fit right in over there. I love Baltimore. Let me tell you what, girl.
Now, you're actually from Cleveland. What was growing up in Cleveland like? Is that where you started drag?
No, I did drag once in Cleveland, and it was like the worst experience of my life. And I was like, I will never do drag again because these bitches are mad shady. Cleveland is just like, I call her the mistake by the lake because she's very that. It's like there's really nothing to do in Cleveland except for like do drugs and have sex, and like neither are that good there. So it's like, what do I do now? So here I am in California, but it was. And now there's like two and a half gay bars or like LGBTQI
What's a half gay bar?
establishments. Like, like a foo bar.
Okay.
Like a dive, like...
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like Pump is half gay, but it's...
Yeah, that's I figured it was just like, it's not a gay bar, but there's a lot of like men.
kind of gay sometimes.
Yeah.
No,
But
it's like,
Cleveland
it's
used to be
very-
this big center. In fact, they had the 5th largest pride in the U.S., which I didn't know about.
Yeah,
I don't
This
know
was
if that,
years ago.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
one-
factually
one
true.
time.
No, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
It was true one time.
Yeah.
But it was like 5 or 6 years ago. But like in Laguna Beach, there was like gay bars everywhere, and it was full of gay people.
I know, I
and
heard
not any-
that, yeah.
There's nothing. And so that's what I've heard that Cleveland has become.
Because straight people
It's very-
steal everything that we make.
It's like they have the Eagle and they have Twist.
Every city has an eagle. It's like,
Yeah, but they're all different, I've learned. Like the Eagle in Baltimore, she real
Well,
cute.
you want to know why though? Is because I forget whoever was the first gay bar that was the Eagle
was it SF?
but they were not smart enough to trademark their name, and so then other bars just popped up, and then it became just a term for leather bar
yeah.
because they were not.
Oh,
So
like,
always
could
trademark
I didn't
your
know
merch.
that because I thought, are they all connected?
Well,
Nope,
maybe it's
they're
because you
not.
can't trademark the word Eagle.
No, if you were like a bar, you could have.
Oh.
Because it would be trademarked for bars,
Well, let's open up a bar called The Eagle.
And copyright.
Yeah, but let's spell it like super gay. Like,
like e-girl.
yeah, E-Girl.
E-girl.
The drag leather bar called E-Girl.
No, that sounds like like a place
I
you
can-
check your email
I
for
can
gays.
smell that bar already, and I am not
Not
interested.
attending it.
It smells like baby powder and tequila and pee.
Fritos and Fritos. As a drag queen, it's dangerous. You may almost piss in your ass once or twice, maybe.
Who
What do you mean?
does?
What do you mean? Almost. I know many drag queens who have had to piss in their outfits.
That is so unfortunate. I've only done that. I've only had that incident once, and I was literally in my bathroom, and I just couldn't like get my stuff unzipped fast
And
enough.
once you tell your body that we're going to be able to do
Yeah.
it, your body is
I'm
like,
like
hey,
sitting
we're
there,
doing
like
it.
I'm doing the pee dance. I'm like wobble, like oh my god. I'm trying to like unzip it, and it's like you're not unzipping, and it just I'm like it's happening. It's like it's seen in Bridesmaids where she's like
Yeah.
oh no,
It's happening.
it's happening,
It's happening.
it's happening, and she's like in the middle of the street. But I was like, here's me in just a sequin jumpsuit, and there's just pee coming out of the side of my legs and my
no.
jump. I'm like this is
Oh,
so weird.
God.
It's not even coming from the right spot.
It's like shooting out from all over
Like, what is
directions.
happening?
That's not an almost story. That's a it happened.
It did happen.
That
No, it
happened.
did,
You
but
were
then
there.
It has almost happened several times since then, but I have made it like a thing for myself to not. I limit myself to like alcohol intake when I'm in drag, especially if I'm wearing like something like this and I have to like unzip it myself. I don't have anyone to help me like get undressed or anything like that because most of the time people won't help you get undressed because they're rude. But a lot of these girls have like people that come in. They're like, "Do you need help getting dressed?" I'm like, "What's this? What?"
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm like, are you an assistant? Do you want to assist me? Because assist me.
Do you have an assistant?
No, I have become very self-sufficient in like doing things because I do travel a lot. Like Alex said earlier, I do go all over the country. Like I haven't been on Drag Race, but that doesn't mean you can't be a bad bitch without being on
There-
Drag
I
Race.
love you
There's
saying
many-
that.
there's-
You
Yep.
can still be
There's
like,
many
if
that
you-
are.
If that's like why you're doing drag, then you should definitely reconsider. Like, I heard a rumor that this was potentially the last American season of Drag Race
What?
for
No.
a couple years.
We've
No,
heard that
just
one for a few years.
The cash is
No,
still coming
this
in.
time, well, because
Yeah.
there's like 16 other franchises, and they need the attention. Because those queens aren't getting the same experience as the American Drag Race queens
Yeah,
are.
okay, but you're talking about from the queens as a company. I don't think they care about the queens' exposure.
They
They
only
care about the money.
if RuPaul's there. And they're not going to be able to, they're going to be losing money if she doesn't go to those, like,
Oh,
Oh,
they'd
I
make
guess.
more money if she's the judge on these other.
exactly.
Oh,
So she's
okay.
going to become more
That makes
present
sense.
in the Drag Race franchise. Like, I think they shot a couple seasons of Down Under when they were there whenever they filmed this season that's on right now. I think they did back to back because
Wait, the
RuPaul
redo-
is like,
I
bitch,
thought-
that's a 20-hour flight. I'm good.
Yeah.
On that once a year.
I thought they gave up on Down Under, so
No, because RuPaul went.
they're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Because that season was.
Yeah, but this is all like hearsay, but I heard it from like some people that work
In the
not-
know.
Yeah, they work in the know. They don't work for a specific
And
company.
we gays can't keep a secret.
I know. As
We-
you
we
guys
call
see-
that-
as you see.
We call that per se.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her say at the
purr.
Urgle.
Yeah, it's very that. And I mean, it makes sense because if she's present on the other seasons, like the people will watch the shows because the kids love RuPaul. That's why she's the most followed.
And it's
out of
new
all the
audiences
queens.
too, so it's new
Exactly.
numbers.
And then RuPaul's like, oh, so I mean,
But the
if
US will have nothing.
they'll have All Stars still.
So they'll keep still doing all
And
stars.
maybe
Keep
Michelle
doing
Visage will
All-Stars
do
because
something.
There's a lot of there's so many other ones, like they want to focus on Queen of the Universe. They want to focus on because like that one's on Paramount Plus and that
Yeah.
prize is $250K and
Yeah.
season 1 was awesome. So like if they put a little bit more attention on the season 2 and like
I'm sorry, they need to do a season where the prize is $1 million. The show makes more than enough money now. You can do $1 million
I feel like
prize.
they'll get there. I feel like they'll do another like
a mega.
All star, R star.
The queen
world.
of all the queen of the world,
Like
I
the
feel
UN.
The god.
literally
Yeah.
the most amazing queen
Drag
on
on.
earth, and it's like I feel like it'll be like a queen from every season that's like one. It'd be a mega season, and it'll almost be like Big Brother-esque style. And I feel like I heard something about that too on Netflix.
Oh, I heard that there is a Big Brother version with,
With
the drag queens where they
all
let to live
drag
together.
race girls though.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
And
Yeah.
it's like a handful
I
of the
heard
most
that.
popular Rue girls doing like a very Big Brother thing,
Yep.
and it's like and
They have to
RuPaul's
live
producing
together.
it.
Yep.
Because RuPaul, Sony Studios gave Rue like a whole entire like thing. Like they gave her like here's a wing,
Yeah, like develop
here's
this.
a
like,
studio, bitch,
Oh,
go
wow.
do stuff.
I mean, that's gonna be interesting too, because you're gonna see them like they'll start out in the beginning like very like staying in character, being all this, and then
Yeah,
once
and
the
they have
days
to
go
be in
on,
drag for a lot of the times too.
that's gonna mentally break people down.
Yeah.
Like lack of sleep, being trapped together, having to keep doing your drag.
Yeah, it's like Drag Race on crack.
Yeah, dude, that's literally.
So, and Valentina today posted on her Instagram a thing in Spanish, and it was for a drag race. It's like, are you a drag queen in Mexico City?
I
Send
saw
your
like
stuff.
6 different ones for a bunch. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's so many different Drag Race franchises right now. Like, it's crazy. But that's the only reason I heard about that whole like rumor thing was because there is so many franchises now, and it's like they just need like to spend attention on the other ones. 'cause
But it's
we
a
have
little too
15.
much. It's like all the Star Wars and Star Trek stuff coming out. It's
Yeah,
like,
but
that's
like
a
the
little too
kids-
much. You're
but the
diluting
kids
the product.
The kids still love it though. That's the thing. Like every season is the most watched season, and it's
Which
like,
I don't get though, because like
damn.
us, I guess the older ones, we're all like
elders.
We're all so over. We literally are like, can we have Drag Race
Elder
once a year? Or there's too many.
Yeah, because we just did All Stars, and now it's Celebrity again, even though their first Celebrity was like, who?
Yeah, they changed the formula in Celebrity Drag Race a lot.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be this one is super cute. I got to see like a little sneak peek of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is much better.
You're like-
This is a lot better than last one." Last
You'll
season,
actually
everyone
watch
was
it.
like,
Who was the
Yeah.
celebrity last season?
I think the biggest one was Vanessa Williams.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
the
a
rest
big
of them were
celebrity.
like the rest of them were just kind of.
There was like a podcaster.
Yeah, some TikToker.
Yeah.
That's not. Even as somebody who is a podcaster and a TikToker, I'm like, that's not.
I didn't recognize any of who they were.
He's like,
No. Okay, so let's talk about another big part of your life, which we know is cannabis. Cake does cannabis.
"Yay, I do all things cannabis, and I know all the things cannabis."
What was your first exposure to weed? Number one, what do we say? It's like we were talking about elders, so like you don't say Mary Jane anymore. My mom was like, Mary Jane. Do we say weed, or is even weed outdated?
There's so many. It's people say cannabis, weed. Some people are like marijuana. It's really fun. Like when I'm at work, I'm like, "Do you need marijuana? What kind of marijuana would you like?
Even when you say
would
it,
you
it
like
sounds
some
funny.
cannabis?" Like, it's just different moments. Like people are still like Mary Jane.
Yeah.
And, like that's still a thing. That's still good
But
terminology.
like, what's the main term? Like, if I wanted to be cool and talk about it, do I say cannabis? Weed? Still weed. Okay.
Yeah, still weed.
Drugs.
Yeah. Drogas.
Drugs.
Mota.
But weed's not considered a drug anymore, per se.
It is a class one. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it still literally is federal.
No, it literally is,
yeah.
but in terms of the connotation, it's not
Yeah,
like 10 years ago.
Federally, unfortunately, it is still illegal, but it is recreational in so many states. They just might as well just do it. Like I don't.
It's good tax money, by the way. Yeah. And now, but people, so part of the controversy is now that it's legal, it's become so expensive, and so people that like need it
Yeah, it's
can't
driving
afford it
them-
like they could before.
It's definitely driving people back to the black market because of that.
Yeah.
Like, taxes. Where I work, the taxes in our store is only 30. Well, it's 33%, and that's
Only?
and that's low.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And that's low. And that's the city of West Hollywood, because each city chooses their own tax bracket. So LA County shows the highest one. So your excise tax is 15%, sales tax is now 10.25% tax, and the other one, it's like a local city tax, is also 10.5%.
I mean, isn't that enough for you to make you want to not be into it?
Well, yeah, but I still just love cannabis so much, and I love getting it for people and like helping people. Like like I said, microdosing would be your best friend instead of nano cutting a gummy into 1,000 pieces.
But isn't that microdosing?
No, it is microdosing, but there's so many other ways you can do that with other stuff specifically for sleeping.
That's easier than
Yeah,
that.
and there's
I need some whatever because I
less
can't sleep.
high, less high, more sleep. There's this company called Kikoko. They're called Little Helpers. They're little sleep mints, and it's CBN and THC, but there's more CBN than THC, so it just makes you go to sleep.
I would love that.
And it's literally a microdose, and it's a mint, and there's 40 tablets in the package. And it literally is fast acting because it absorbs through your buccal system and your mucous membranes in your mouth. So it hits you in like 15 minutes instead of waiting for like 90 minutes for your body to metabolize a gummy.
Oh my God. Okay.
And it's a mint, so you can wake up with no morning breath. So
Boom. That part.
You know, it's funny because there was a shift. I remember growing up, weed was, you know, even in high school, everybody had it, but it was so bad. And all the adults and the old people were like, oh, weed. But then it started to make its way in the medical world.
Yeah.
And like my grandma with glaucoma and all that, they're like, you know, you can do all this, especially for cancer patients.
Yeah.
It did so much for people going through cancer.
Well, did I tell you what? So last year, my mom battled breast cancer, and she won. And,
I did not know that. Yay, Mom.
When she was battling it, she lives in South Carolina, where it's not legal. It's like, again, one of those states that should allow it but doesn't.
Yeah.
So I would send her gummies in the mail, and it was the only thing she said. Like, they had prescribed her so many sleeping pills, and she couldn't sleep, she couldn't eat. It was the only thing that, like, once I gave it to her, she was like, I got really hungry right away, ate a lot, and then she's like, and I passed out every night. And it was the only thing that would make her sleep the whole night through. And literally, I'm like, you were battling the toughest disease ever, and all this prescribed doctor medication was making her feel more sick.
Yeah, it makes it
She
worse.
didn't sleep at all, and she couldn't eat. And this simple thing that is considered like a crime
Yeah.
helped her in her cancer.
Yeah.
And what I was doing was technically illegal, and I literally realized I was like,
Yeah.
I'm helping.
Especially using the mail, that's a federal offense.
I literally was like,
Yeah.
I'm helping somebody with
Edit that
cancer, and
out.
that's a crime. But that's not a crime. Like, I know you would do that for somebody too if they
I
were battling
literally
cancer.
sent my mom and my grandma stuff in the mail as well. What are you gonna fuck what?
What are you gonna do?
Allegedly.
Like it's not like I'm a huge drug dealer kingpin, but it's like my mom is literally like in her 50s, almost 60, and she has like severe arthritis all over her body. So I send her CBD THC tinctures, and she like calls me. She's like, I feel like I'm fucking 40 years old again. Like, what is in this? And I'm just like, it's just some weed, girl. Like, that's it. And then she'll like take a little nibble of like a chocolate bar, and she's just like, oh my God, I'm so high. And like, she's fun. My mom used to never, like, she used to literally take my drugs and like, she would smash my pipes with like hammers.
Oh
and
my
put-
God.
That's
put
what
it-
the culture
and
was.
put it in a plastic bag, like put it under my pillow, and be like, "Did you find your pipe?" And be like,
Bitch.
But it was seen as a bad kid drug, and now it's just
"No,
not.
literally." And it's like I literally went to jail in Cleveland for selling weed, well, amongst other things, but mostly weed. But like,
I love how that's thrown in there.
I literally like ran a trap house, and like, it was
What's a trap house?
a trap house is it's basically a drug den.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like a nice term.
It sounded like a fun club.
It had nice furniture. I don't know.
We had nice sofas.
Did you?
No.
No. There we go.
Usually
like,
had
is
people
that the whole
passed out
truth,
on my
Ellen?
sofas, like,
But do you think because it's helped so much in the medical industry, that's why it's becoming mainstream and
no,
legalized?
that's actually making the taxes worse.
Oh, okay. So spill the tea.
Because it's very basic. Like some doctors are like starting to tell their patients like, hey, you should go to a dispensary and like talk. And I'm like, thank you, doctor. You are actually a good doctor. You're helping your patient because that's what you signed on to be a doctor to do is
Exactly.
help your patient. But a lot of these other doctors, they just want to sign a prescription pad and send you so that they can get an invoice from your insurance, and then they get more coins. And all these like opiates and all these like drugs that you're saying, they make you feel worse. They are destroying your kidneys and your liver and like everything. And it's like,
They're also very addictive.
yeah, that too. And like those little mints I told you guys about, I've literally helped like at least 100 people stop using Ambien and like ridiculously addictive sleeping pills just from these
I'm going to
little-
try this.
just from these little
I'm literally going to try this. the
That's
minute-
literally why I'm asking you, because like I have a prescription for Ambien and I hate it because it gives me a lot of side effects.
Yeah, because it's because you're not supposed to have all those drugs mixed together in one pill. That's why it makes you have crazy dreams. And it's like these little things. It's literally 2 milligrams of THC, 3 milligrams of CBN. CBN is aged CBD, so it becomes a sedative. and you just need that 0.8% THC to activate the CBN so that it makes you go to sleep. And it has 1 milligram of melatonin.
Perfect.
What was your first exposure to weed?
I was 12 years old, and my older brother sold weed, and he had lived in the basement, and there was a bong up here, like in the rafters, and then there was a little box, like a Tupperware container, and there was some weed in it, and I guess it was like the last of his weed. And I took it, and I put it in the bong, and I cashed it, and I had no idea what that meant at the time. I was like, I cashed it, but it's like...
Wait, what's cashed mean?
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
like when you're hitting a bowl and you hit it so hard, like it turns from green, it turns completely white to ash. So you turn it to ash off of one hit. And I did that, and I was like sitting there, and I was like holding my little controller on my PlayStation, waiting for him to come downstairs. And he like looks at my bong, and he's like, "You son of a bitch, did you fucking finish this?" And I was like, "What? Yeah, what?"
It's like, let's order pizza.
And I was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Bro, did you literally just cash out my bong?" And I was like, "Are we playing Mortal Kombat?" He was like, "No, get out of my room." And I was like, "Why are you mad?" He's like, "That was my last of my weed." So that was the first time I used weed. And
I mean, don't you think that's a
went
little bit
crazy.
young to be doing drugs? And
no.
no, you don't think at 12 you should not be
From a
smoking
parent's
weed?
point, because did your school subjects suffer? Did
No, well,
you get
I
into the
stopped-
wrong kids?
You
I
turned
stopped-
into a drug
I
dealer
became
in a
the
You had a
wrong
thirst
kid.
trap.
Yeah, no, I became the wrong kid, I guess. But mostly I became that way because people assumed I was like that. Because I was the only, like, out gay kid in my school. So everyone always was rude to me and, like, fucked with me and was very mean to me. And one of my friends one day was just like, "You need to be careful with Sam." Ooh. I'm just kidding. That's my human name. Like, you need to be careful because...
Let me say human
like,
name, not even
he's-
boy name.
Like, he sells drugs and he will fuck you up. And I was like, do I sell drugs? I was like, I gave you some Adderall the other day, girl. That don't mean I sell drugs. But then I started selling drugs, and like all these like jocks and like all these random kids in the school started like respecting me, and like so I just kind of became that girl.
So you were an entrepreneur, is what you want to say.
Basically,
mean,
yeah,
this
I
is-
sat at all the tables.
This
Yeah.
is up for debate because I'm sure a parent is like, no, I don't want my kid at 12 years old to get involved in
Of course
the
not.
drug world.
No.
Of
So
course
it's like,
not.
is that too young?
Well, then why the hell do you have your kids go to DARE? I didn't know about drugs until my DARE officer taught me about them.
And the DARE officers that came to the school were always the hot ones. I
And
don't
they
like.
were always wasted after school.
And it's also funny too. They always
They're always
come.
hot.
They always come,
And those
and they
black
always
pants.
hold a bag of drugs.
No, that's what I mean. I was like, wouldn't know what angel dust or PCP looks like if you didn't show me.
And why do they call it such cool names? Like, if they
Right,
want to make an uncool, they
right.
call it like, this is
This is
stupid
I will
ass
die
dust.
after one hit.
Yeah.
This is I ripped my
There's
face
like-
off with my fingernails because I thought I had
Okay.
That's
flesh
like
eating
literally
bugs
called
under my
ecstasy.
Can I-
It's called angel
Can
dust.
I tell you a funny story though?
Hey, don't forget to roll your cigarette in it. Like, what the fuck?
So, all right. So in my school, we had a video to teach us about how dangerous weed was, and so the video you watch, there are these two guys, and the one guy goes, "Hey, do you want to do some drugs?" And the other guy goes, "Sure." And he hands them a joint. They take one puff, and then they literally see a cop on the other side of the room, and they go, "We should go over and kill him." And they push him off a roof, and they literally ends by saying, "Don't ever try weed, not even once."
So I saw a version like that, but the girl, she smoked weed. She got up and she ran through the window of a 2-story house and she died.
I do not understand any of that because not once, I have never not smoked weed a day in my life since that one time I started. So I'm 32 years old. That is 20 years of smoking weed every single day, and not once have I ever been fucking tempted to push a cop off a building or run
Jump
through the
through it.
window of a 2-story building. That blows my mind. Most of the time, I'm just like,
Don't want to move.
right, like I'm not let alone run through a fucking window.
No, but the first one sounds like a porn. Like, I've seen that porn before.
Literally,
It's like-
oh, look at that cop across
She
the
goes,
like,
yeah,
first
like-
of all, why are you in a room and there's just a cop in the corner and you're standing over here smoking a joint? This doesn't make any sense off the bat. There is the whole reefer madness thing. All of that stuff was created because there's like 4 families and they bought like acres
the
of
paper.
land and they were a lumber company. And then there was like 30 acres of these other people and they had hemp, and their hemp grows really fast, and you chop it down, it grows right back in like 30 days. And they're like, bitch, trees take like 30 years to
Yep.
grow. We just bought all these trees. They're producing all this stuff. So they're like, oh, that's what makes people go crazy. And so then they turn it into this huge thing. And now that these tree people and like the paper companies are like $1 billion corporations. They're like, okay. It was fine. Weed's fine. It was okay the whole time. We just wanted to make you hate it for the past 50 years.
But people still think it's so dangerous, but which I think is
Oh, I
fascinating.
know. I have to destigmatize it every day at my job.
But what's crazy though is you don't have to destigmatize alcohol, which actually is very dangerous, and people are constantly killed from it, and there's a lot of violence because of
Literally
it.
every day.
I mean, there's domestic violence, there's drunk driving, there's all
People
this kind
literally
of
do
stuff.
jump through windows like while drunk.
Do you see this window? I'm going to jump through it.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
I have. I'm like, is this the way outside? And like, bitch, run the second
Like
story.
nobody stoned is gonna even try and run.
Right.
Okay, but
Unless
so
they're
but
like,
let's talk about this. This is a part of the stigma is that if you smoke pot, you sleep all day and you don't have a job and you're not productive because it's addicting. But from my own personal experience, I was I had a friend or whatever. I feel that he was addicted because he would.
You can be
He would
addicted
start
to it.
jonesing if he didn't have his morning pot, and he was broke as fuck. So if he didn't have $20 for that day, the whole day would be ruined. He would get violent, and then the minute he got the pot for the day, he was fine. But he literally would sit on the sofa all day, lost his job, couldn't get another job, and he would just sit there day after day after day, and it was toxic. And I
That
believe
is-
he was addicted to it.
that is a different addiction. He was chasing a different addiction and thought it was pot because that's another like huge stigma with people that use cannabis. Like what you were saying earlier. Did you not hear the list of things that I do on a daily basis?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm always high. Like I am
That's a
high
good
right
point.
now. I'm literally high right now. I got off work. I was getting high while I was doing my makeup and I was vibing out and I was like, all right, let's go. And then I got high with my friend in the car on the way here. And now he's chilling out there high and I'm chilling in here high talking to you guys.
Can
And
I
it's like-
can I ask you this though?
Yeah.
So why the only thing I have kind of an issue, not an issue, but like it bothers me that a lot of my friends who do smoke every single day, why can't you also just be in reality for a day? Like why do you have to always be escaping? Because then aren't you just kind of like escaping?
Well,
Always?
cannabis doesn't help me escape reality. It helps me focus on my reality, and it helps me be more present. Because when I'm not high,
Okay.
my brain is everywhere.
So it's kind of like
And
people
I
who have
can't-
ADHD.
Cannabis is literally like Adderall for me in a way, but then it also helps me go to sleep at night. It helps me just relax if I'm stressed. There are some people that do. Some people have. There has been some research where people do have mood swings, like your friend, like if they don't smoke. But that's not just like a cannabis thing. That's like a mixture of several things at once.
And maybe he was addicted to being able to escape from everything or feel that relaxation. That's
That
what he
does
was
help, but
actually
a lot
addicted
of weed also before was just Kush. Just Kush.
Mm-hmm.
And like mostly every Kush and OG strains are all indica based, and those are very relaxing. It's very super chill. That's what gives you the munchies. Like you smoke a sativa, you will hyper analyze your whole entire life for no reason. Like, did I leave my flat iron on? Like, bitch, I don't even have hair.
Like flat iron
It's like a
3
whole
years
thing,
ago.
like,
Yeah.
I smoked this one sativa the other day, and I was like, is there like a secret about me that I'm unaware of that everyone is talking about? And I was like, girl, don't ever smoke Jack Herrera again. Because I'm over here like, is there literally like a huge secret about me? And like everyone's like tiptoeing around my feelings. I'm like, stop.
And is
Get
it
out
true?
of there.
Is it true?
Right. I was like, is this true? Like,
But that's funny. A lot of people don't know. Like, if I were to go into Mad Men in West Hollywood, I wouldn't know what to order, and I wouldn't know what does what, and I would be like,
Med
I don't
Men,
know
not
what to
Mad
do.
Men.
Oh, Mad Men. Girl, I've been to some Mad Men in West Hollywood.
well, like that's the TV show, sis.
But to your point, like, so, like, if I would get the wrong one, I would have a bad experience. And, like, my really bad experience with pot was with edibles.
Yeah.
Now, stupid me, I didn't know about doses, so I literally had 6 cookies. I thought I was going to die. I started vomiting.
Well, that's
I started
another
crying
thing.
and freaking out. Like, I almost had to go to the hospital. But I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, that's the thing with edibles is there's a super huge disconnect with edibles because 90% of edibles are just THC, and people that do smoke, like they're used to flower. So flower is very specific, like sativa hybrid, indica. Those are very specific highs. But during the extraction process with edibles, most people that do make edibles, they don't put the terpenes back into the edibles that give that, because there's all the different terpenes, which is what signifies this is a sativa. Because like you smoke
know
this
that.
with all these different terpenes, it's gonna make you feel this. And like cannabis, it does affect everyone differently because we all have different endocannabinoid systems. But most of the time, like, our highs will all be the same. But edibles are just THC, so people are not used to that. And that's when I had to go to the hospital. I thought I was dying. I was freaking the fuck out because it's like my eyelashes are high, my fingernails are high, my teeth are talking to me. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy town because people aren't used to, like, just a THC high. So it's, like, very, But if you get, like, a specific, like, if you're someone that likes, like, if you're very active in the day, like, that company that does the sleep mints, they have another one called Boost, and it's THCV, which is literally cannabis Adderall, because it is a hyper focus, and it also is an appetite suppressant.
What's the name?
It's called Boost.
I'm gonna go get the whole
And it's
kit.
like a yuzu coconut flavor, and they're plant-based, too. They're really good. And the other one is just called Sleep, and there's another one called Focus, and, like, they actually, like, help you do those things, and there's, like, very specific, like, breakdowns. It has, like, B6 and B12 in it, too. Like, there's all that stuff. But, like you said, you ate, like, 5 or 6 cookies out of, like, a random bag. You probably ate, like, 600 milligrams of THC, girl. That's a lot. I would be here. I would be terrified, bitch.
You're time
It is
traveling
a
at
lot.
that point.
Literally,
No,
but
it was-
if anyone
it was
gets
crazy.
too high on edibles, if you get some CBD water, drink some CBD water, and it reverses the psychoactivity, and you will feel like a regular human again.
That's really
No
good
need
advice.
to go to the hospital or call the 911. I think I'm dying. I ate a brownie and I don't know. My phone is a sandwich. And it's like, what?
There was that one 911 call that was going viral. He's like, we did pot and I think we're dead.
Yeah, yeah,
Literally,
it's
yeah.
very that. He's like, I did pot, and I always warn people too. Like, they're like, oh, I have a crazy tolerance, and I'm also like, but you're also from this random city, and like most of the time when you're in a state that doesn't have legal cannabis, the edibles, they just spray the THC inside the bag, and so the THC sticks to the side of the bag. And it's like, girl, you're not getting high. Like, your one peach ring, it's a peach ring. You're not going to get high.
The bag is like you should be licking the
Is
bag.
gonna get, like, this one peach ring will have like 300 milligrams in it, and then the other one has like 2.
It's not like here where we actually are baking it into it.
No, exactly. It's like literally like I'll tell people, like, eat one of those or even a half of it to start, because it will get you. And it's crazy because, like, some people, like, you apparently don't have that fast metabolism.
I have a fast metabolism.
But if your little baby microdose gummy hits you like that, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Edibles have to do with the way you metabolize, like, food.
I metabolize food insanely fast.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's crazy. You should be able to eat like a whole bag of edibles and be fine, because most people metabolize the THC before it hits their bloodstreams, and they're just like, I didn't feel anything.
I'm very sensitive. Oh, very sensitive. No, but I'm very sensitive that, like, I feel every effect of it, and so, like, it can be very intense for me.
I feel like you should try things with CBD in it, like 1-to-1, like a 1-to-1.
I've never done that yet, so I actually
should-
after this
you should do that.
I'm gonna try the sleeping ones that you recommended.
Yeah.
So tell our audience exactly, like, okay, let's say I wanted to start trying to see if this helps my life. What is it that I should start with?
Honestly, I would start microdosing stuff. Whenever people come in the store and they're just like, I've never used weed before, like, I want to smoke or I want to eat edible, I usually have like a low dose edible, like with a specific high, and I'm like, try this, see how this makes you feel. If you're gonna smoke, like, go for like a 50-50 hybrid, smoke that, and be like, I want more of this feeling. Like, I want to be more relaxed, or I want to be more energetic. And then that helps you decide which high you like. Oh, I'm a sativa person, or I'm definitely an indica person. And it's very easy to, like, pinpoint when you do that. But you just got to go to the right dispensary. A lot of dispensaries, people are like, there's fire. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, you should totally get that. And then you end up eating 6 cookies and freaking the fuck out.
So when you like travel for work, obviously you can't bring any of this on an airplane. Okay, then we have our answer.
Well,
TSA
So
is like,
all
what?
right, then how are you doing that?
well, honestly,
give me your
if
secrets.
it's
They're not listening.
No, it's not a secret at all. But if you Google LAX cannabis policies, it's very black and white. And, like, if you are traveling with cannabis, like, to not put it in your check bag, to put it in your carry-on bag, because under the plane is crossing state lines and blah, blah, blah. You're inside the plane, so it's this and this. And it's like, that's a real long way of just saying, bitch, put it in your carry-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, why y'all gotta say all this? It's the state lines and pressure difference. And I'm like, girl, no one cares. Just, can I bring it or no? But there's also limits. Like, you can only buy an ounce of flour and 8,000 milligrams of concentrate per day in California.
Yeah, or else
which
you're
is
a drug
hilarious
dealer.
because, I can go buy a whole entire liquor store and everyone's like, where's the party at?
Yeah. That's
I go buy an
interesting.
ounce of weed. They're like, wow, girl, you're fucking weird. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to get high.
That is interesting. I mean, obviously, we see the negative effects of drinking super fast.
Yeah, and we have even like people. There's cannabis drinks now. The cannabis drinks have
I
become
saw that.
so popular. The Can company. It's literally CANN. They are one of. There's like 7 or 8 queer-owned cannabis companies in the state of California, which is super.
Should I try one of those? Because like
you should.
Okay.
Each one of those like a glass of wine. People that are trying to quit drinking alcohol, they start drinking cans, and they're like they'll come back and they'll buy like 8 cases. They're like, I felt like I drank my wine, but I wasn't wasted, and I was
you
like,
weren't sloppy.
yeah, because it's like you get just as relaxed and like just chill, but you're not drunk, so like your cognitive skills don't change. Like after a bottle of wine, you're like
You're
falling over, but
Yeah.
you drink like 1 or 2 cans, and you're just like, oh shit. Like, I had a whole bottle of wine. It's crazy, but that's what CBD does. CBD delivers the medicinal part of THC without the high.
Okay.
So when you mix them together, like you get a little high, but it pulls back from the high.
But I have a question, like regarding like CBD. Is that kind of like snake oil? Because I've seen like ones that are like rub
if it's
CBD on your
hemp-derived.
rub CBD on your hand and it'll cure you of your anxiety. I'm like, they're just lying to you.
That's just a dumb bitch saying dumb shit.
Yeah, it's just lotion.
That's hemp derived. If it's hemp derived CBD, it's gonna not do anything for you. If you can get it at a smoke shop or a grocery store that is hemp derived and that's placebo effect and that's just someone trying to get some coins from you,
Okay.
any kind of CBD product that is THC based actually can do stuff like that. Like it can help with like arthritis and things like that, but there has to be that 0.8% of THC in it.
Oh, to make it
Otherwise,
real.
CBD does nothing.
It literally is just lotion.
It's non-psychoactive until you actually add a little bit of THC, and then it actually does what it needs to do for your body.
It's funny, Ted, somebody gave me a CBD oil thing, and I thought, oh, you put it on whatever, and then it wasn't until I was like, nothing's happening. And he's like, you're supposed to drop it in your mouth.
Yeah, tinctures.
Oh, you were like-
tinctures
Yeah,
taste.
I was like,
tinctures taste
nothing's
gross,
happening.
but
They really do.
they're very helpful. Like tinctures are more medicinal than anything. So if you're just trying to get high, I wouldn't suggest a tincture. But if you're trying to do like medical stuff like pain management, like a lot of cancer patients do like tinctures with THCA because it's non-psychoactive, but it still makes you feel like normal and it makes you hungry. It helps with nausea, like stuff like that. Like you said, your mom had a couple gummies, like, and she boom. My godmother, she passed away recently, but I helped extend her life by an extra like 9 months. And all she did was she said, I don't like the way it tastes. I don't like the way I feel, but I feel better. Yeah, but then she stopped using it, and then it snatched her up. But it happens. That's why I always try to tell people, like, I'm glad there's some doctors that are actually being like, hey, you should go to a dispensary and talk to some bud tenders and, like, tell them I sent you, but, like, more CBD than not.
Well, and to your point, like the doctors, they're getting a kickback from the medicines that they prescribe. That's why they have those
Exactly.
salespeople going in there.
Exactly, but the good doctors are finally being like, we know the medicinal parts of cannabis and what it can do for you guys, so I actually want to help my patients and, like, make you feel better instead of just being like, here, take all these pills until you die.
Yeah, that don't even work, and you're not going to enjoy your
it's
life.
like, oh, you lost your hair now. It's like, sorry. The pills, side effect. It's weird. It's just, the whole world is so weird to me. Just everything is mad weird to me. Like, all of this makes sense, but, like, other things, like the government and, like,
Especially now, like what the hell's going on?
I have no idea.
I
Like,
know-
we're making some progress in some spaces. Like Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery finally had justice served, which is beautiful. They got federal crimes charged. The other guys that murdered Ahmaud got life in prison, which is what they deserve.
Yeah.
And things like that are changing. But if you're a woman, you have no rights right now, and things like that. They're trying to take our rights away as well. But shit's crazy.
and there's a new virus now in China right now.
What? Don't
Yeah.
don't even. What now?
So that's why you're just like, I now get why you want to smoke every day.
There's that too. Like over like the past couple years, it's just opening your phone every day and looking at Facebook. It's like, oh, another 10,000 people died today, or oh, your favorite actor died today, and it's like, I know. It's like, oh, your favorite actor died today.
How
And
much
it's
did you
like,
smoke during the lockdown? Like when we were like locked down?
Same amount.
Really? You
Yeah, I
didn't go into like a end of the world.
I know a lot of people. They went into alcohol
Yeah.
super bad.
Oh yeah, a lot of people came into the store too and like were power purchasing like cases of edibles. Like it was weird.
Like the end of the world.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say his name, but he owns a very popular gay bar in West Hollywood. But he came in and was like having a panic attack. He's like, Cake, I don't know what to do. I emptied my fucking bank accounts. I'm coming here. I'm buying all the edibles. Give me all of your sativa edibles right now. And he's on the phone. He's like, girl, I emptied my account. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, girl, calm down. Breathe. You don't need sativa edibles. Maybe a hybrid.
Can I tell you something too? I actually emptied my bank account too.
What?
I really thought
Why?
it was like the end of the world.
It was like the same way people acted with toilet paper. I'm still looking at y'all bitches for how y'all acted towards toilet paper.
So dumb.
I didn't do that.
Weird.
I was smart and I got baby butt wipes.
It's still weird to me because I ran out of like baby wipes soon. Like that's how I take off my makeup, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I never
Like
thought
I
about
can't
that.
even take off my makeup now because y'all bitches like.
You know the best place to get toilet paper during that whole thing? No matter when I went, there was always at least one package. 7-Eleven. Nobody thought to go to 7-Eleven to buy toilet
Yeah,
paper.
7-Eleven has a lot of stuff.
They do. You're like,
but
oh,
they're
I didn't know
always
they have
shady
that.
and rude.
Yeah.
I found the best place during LA is whenever it happened. There is this one Chinese marketplace in downtown LA that because people were being racist at the time, they were afraid to go there because they're like, oh, the virus is there, which is not true.
Bitch, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But it was perfect because they are fully stocked of toilet paper, all the food, no lines. It
was like that in a lot
cheat
of
code.
places, especially in downtown Santee Alley. Like I don't know who went to. I don't know if any of y'all know what that is, or you probably do. If
They
you're
know, we've
here-
talked about
if you're
it.
here in LA, but like I noticed the mass people that have stores in Santee and around the area, they had a lot of toilet paper. They had Lysol for days, and I was like, okay. Now I see where y'all went in bulk.
Yeah.
Y'all smart. Okay. I'm not mad. I see it now. I see it. Y'all are like, oh, you needed the toilet paper?
We have it.
We got you over here. Also, do you want this t-shirt?
And we have the PS5
Yeah.
Like, do you need a pair of chanclas and this bootleg DVD copy of Moana?
and a turtle.
And a turtle.
And some elote. There we go.
Cake, I love chatting with you. And you talk about this on your show, Cannabis Corner.
Yes, actually, Cake's Cannabis Corner, as you see right there, we are on a pause at the moment, but I start filming season 2 in, like, wait, what is today? Oh my God, like a week. Oh my God.
You better get with
She's
it.
got to go. It's
Right,
happening now.
I start filming season 2 in a week, and it's going to premiere, I think, the guy said the beginning of September, end of August, we're going to do season 2 of Cake's Cannabis Corner.
Yes. Awesome.
But yes, we talk all things cannabis every episode. You guys can watch it on Out at TV, and I believe it's going to be available podcast form soon. It is literally every episode is a different educational moment about like different forms of cannabis. So if you're something like I want to know about wellness, there's a wellness episode. You want sativa, there's a sativa episode. I got vendor episodes, so you can learn about different companies that have these products. It's trying to, as I said earlier, trying to break the stigma people have with weed, because it's like, girl, it's not a bad thing. I promise it'll change your life in a really good way.
And where do you want people to find and follow you?
You guys can find me on the Instagram of the things at Miss Cake Moss, MSCAKEMOSS. That is my handle across most of things, and if that's not the handle, it's not me.
Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you guys for having me. This is super fun.
That went by super fast. Like we can talk about anything.
I know. We talk about weed. We talk about wine. We talk about jumping out of windows and killing cops.
That's such a funny memory though, because I remember those videos. And it was like, wait, what?
Right.
They were funnier than
And then I
anything.
ended up hooking up with my dare officer once.
Because they wear the tight black pants. They wear the
Officer
black
Don.
T-shirt. Oh, they're so hot.
He's listening.
I don't even know if he's still alive. No shade.
Teddy Bear, before you take all your money out of your bank, which we're going to talk about because, oh my God, where can people find and follow you?
Everybody can find me on Instagram at Mr. Teddy Bear Gurrrl and on Twitter at the XXX Teddy Bear.
Ooh.
You can find me on Instagram at AlexanderIsOnAir. Send us your questions and comments at bearwithusgirl@gmail.com. And if you want to see all of our watch or listen to our episodes, go to bearwithusgirl.com. And that's 3 R's to your girl. Until next time, we're going to go do Boost. And then, what was the sleepy one?
Sleep.
Oh, sleep.
Go sleep, girl.
We're going to go sleep, girl. All right, we'll see you next time.
Until next time.
That has been another episode of Bear With Us Girl, presented by Bear World Magazine and Cybersocket.com.
Please take a moment to like, subscribe, comment, rate, all the love and support you can give, guys.
Questions, comments, and suggestions? Email us at bearwithusgirl, 3 R's, @gmail.com.
Until next time, embrace the fur.
Grrr.